Yeah, I don't like those ones. Just like you will be stronger one day. Like,
Yeah, those are a little wonky at that point.
like tell me what's gonna happen.
For real, like predict my future. Like shit, that's so Raven me.
It's called a fortune cookie, not an advice cookie.
That's so Raven me is a sick phrase.
That's so Raven.
That's nasty. Nah, you can't get that so Raven.
Oh wait. Speaking of fortune cookie, wait, you guys know that the 50th anniversary of Freaky Friday is coming up?
Why do you know that?
Yeah, Freaky Friday.
I know a lot of weird things.
Okay.
Oh, really? It's the 50th anniversary. That's cool.
All right, so why don't we just all name our favorite version of Freaky Friday? Go.
The original one.
What? Son, how
I'm telling you,
even talking like
I
that,
didn't
bro?
expect it to be a musical.
What do you?
They sing in the movie. Unity.
The last act will blow your mind. I'm telling you.
Dude, I don't know. I am operating purely on vibes.
Look, man, I just want people to kill each other.
I just wish you guys
understood. Wait, where am I? Why am I gray? Oh my god. I'm on Man's channel. Well, I guess I might as well read this script here in front of me. Or think it? Can you guys hear me thinking? This is weird. Wow, Freaky Friday 1976? Well, Man is old AF, and it's the book's 50th anniversary, so I might as well help him out with this. But first, let me adjust the vibes in here. Much better. Freaky Friday is a long-running franchise based off of the book of the same name that was released in 1972. The 1976 film follows the life of Annabelle, a 13-year-old girl who doesn't really see eye to eye with her mother and vice versa. One day, things change as they swap bodies, and now have to go through a whole day in each other's shoes. As you can imagine, this causes many hijinks to ensue. Disney created the movie only 4 years after the book was released. Can't say I'm surprised with how money-grubbing they can be and how quick they are to hop on a trend. Let's not forget the disco album they made. That happened, and we let it happen. Now, it's the main basis for so many different iterations that came after it, it only seems right to give a look at the one that started it all.
Mothers just don't understand what a person goes through. I mean, I'm an individual, right? I can't eat what I want, wear what I want, to keep my hair and my nails the way I want.
And do the laundry, I reminded her. And the shopping, and the cooking. Honestly, Bill, that child has not got a clue about my life.
I wish I could switch places with her for just one day.
This movie is already so different from the films we see today, because for one thing, the credits are at the beginning with a nice song to top it off.
I'd like to be you for a day. I'd like to climb into the dreams you hide.
The movie itself starts off fine enough, but something weird I noticed was that it doesn't hesitate to get going with its premise. Like, less than 10 minutes in, and the mother and daughter swap places. There's not much build-up other than the daughter Annabelle being established as a slob and not liking her brother Bob too much, and having a crush on the neighbor boy, and having a fairly passive attitude towards her mom, Ellen. They don't really give any time to Ellen as a character or establish any real problems that she faces until after the swap. Hell, the two don't have any major screen time together, so we don't get much to go off of in terms of chemistry or tensions between them. In other words, it's just first world white people problems, the movie. Not to mention, it doesn't really show off how the power that swapped them works or where it came from. The only hint we got from them was that it's Friday the 13th. Boy, this would have turned out a lot differently if a certain guy with a hockey mask showed up. Would have been gruesome, but probably fairly entertaining. Once the characters swap, things start to get moving in that sort of old 70s movie fashion. It's pretty slow going for the most part, with the characters going about each other's day with many things going wrong. Annabelle being in her mother's body results in her misconstruing what her mom's supposed to do throughout her day. We find that her mom is a typical stay-at-home mother who handles a lot of different things while her husband is the breadwinner. Pretty standard for that time period, though they do go out of their way to show that being a stay-at-home mom isn't so easy. So, progress, I guess? The same problems occur for Ellen in Annabelle's body with her struggles through school and extracurriculars. A lot of it is pretty simple hijinks with some visual gags to go along with them. You got your fumbling at sports, you're messing up the washing machine, you're burning the dinner, your grown woman flirting with a teenager, you're... Wait, what?
Want me to show ya? Come here. Okay. Okay.
Excuse me,
Okay.
Nothing serious yet, but keep an eye on it.
Oh yeah, with Annabelle in her mom's body, she tries to get the neighbor boy to pay attention to Annabelle, but the boy is more into Ellen's body. It's pretty weird and uncomfortable as you watch, and just on a side note, this boy has got to be like 17 or something, so Annabelle being interested in him is really weird, especially since the movie pushes for them to be together. It gives off mad Amber Alert vibes. Annabelle and Ellen do get a lot of time just experiencing each other's perspectives, and it's pretty interesting what we find out. For one thing, we find out Annabelle's friends suck. No, for real, none of her friends have her back on anything. They just seem so shallow and willing to let her get hurt, even when playing field hockey. Ellen in Annabelle's body gets shoved around like it's nobody's business, and none of her teams try to help or guard for her. It's a perfect depiction of middle school.
I am the queen of the universe. The waves part. The wind engulfs me and the water is warm.
For the most part with this movie, there's not much to really look through for most of its runtime, save for one moment when a little boy copped a feel on Ellen's ass. This movie was definitely made in the 70s. There's also a nice moment when we see Annabelle learn to accept her brother Bob. It's a cute moment, since Bob always thought his sister hated him, which she does, but he couldn't bring himself to hate her. Annabelle starts to realize maybe she was wrong in her assessment of him and mends things between them for the better. This moment's really sweet because it encourages them to get along, even though Bob thinks he's just talking to his mom. Oh, did I forget to mention the dad? The dad, who's played by John Astin of Gomez Addams fame, is basically that husband who puts way more onto his wife than he should. Like, last minute, he'll call and say that she needs to make dinner for 25 guests on such short notice. Husband of the year material, am I right? Ugh. Ellen as Annabelle ends up changing her look for her into something more frilly instead of more tomboyish, which the real Annabelle keeps by the end. It's pretty weird that they actively change her when it should be all about accepting each other regardless of who they want to be, but this is Disney in the 70s. Hell, even now they have a problem accepting others for who they are. Hashtag Disney say gay. But anyway, so far for the first two acts, the movie is pretty mundane and easygoing, but things go insane once the third act hits. Everything that could go wrong does, with Annabelle having a water skiing event she has to do so that her dad can impress bigwigs at his job. Ellen in Annabelle's body gets tricked onto the water skis by the father. Father of the year as well, folks. Annabelle in Ellen's body remembers that this event is taking place and races to get there and stop it. Keep in mind, Annabelle is 13 and doesn't know how to drive, so she's just going on a rampage through the streets. And what follows is pure insanity. The whole movie turns into a cartoon with all these crazy visual gags that are impossible in real life but hilarious in this context. It gets crazier with Ellen and Annabelle switching back, but they also switch places with each other, which isn't explained but leads to even more madness. You get a bunch of crazy stuff like a 13-year-old trying to evade the cops and Ellen holding on for dear life trying to water ski. It's mad funny with how insane it gets.
Roadhog! Keep wheeling, Mrs. Mouse. Don't lose it.
That's improbable! unlikely.
It all comes to life with the final act for an otherwise simple movie. Seriously, it really wasn't that over the top until the end. It starts out as a simple and fun movie and builds up to a crazy finale. It definitely laid the groundwork for what would have become a staple for Disney moving forward. It got its fair share of problems with it being so simple for its first 2 acts, but makes up with the 3rd act. It also has a bit of a muddled message with Ellen changing Annabelle's look and sticking to that rather than accepting her for who she is. Plus, there could have been more build-up to who Ellen is as a character in the beginning. But it's still a nice enough movie that could be fun with friends and acted as a foundation for more movies to come. Okay, can I go back to my body now?
When did I turn purple?